Hello everybody, my name's Emily and welcome to the Mindfulness Project at Home from Tangled Feet. It's week 3, it's lovely to see you all again, and this week is Mountain Week and I hope you're really going to enjoy what we've got planned for you today. So little recap, just as last week, remember I said to you that it might be useful to have something to write with and a pencil, write on and a pencil. And also to have a little blanket, maybe a cushion for under your head, and maybe your favourite toy for the last part of the session. And this week, I've got a pony with me. And so we are asking you, as we do every week, how you are feeling today and how your week has been. So maybe this is your time to have a bit of a think about that and think about how you are finding this time. And you might want to tell us, you might want to say now, you might want to talk to your grown-up about that and tell them how you're feeling, or you might want to write it down or draw it or put it on the page however you want to. Might be some cutting and sticking, some painting, wherever you do it and however you express it. As long as you are getting out how you are feeling, then that is great. So something I want to talk to you about today is a big word called gratitude. And I wonder if you know what gratitude means. Gratitude means saying thank you and being grateful and thankful for the things in our life that we have. So I want you to have a little bit of a think about this. And I want you to think of three things that you would like to say thank you for. What might these 3 things be? I am going to tell you 3 things that are in my head at the minute that I am really grateful for. So number 1 is that I have some nice food to eat today. Number 2 is that I went for a really lovely walk yesterday and it was sunny and I felt the sun on my face and I felt nice and warm and I saw some of nature. Saw some trees, saw some flowers, and it was really lovely. And number 3, I feel really grateful and thankful for my family and friends. So what are the 3 things that you feel grateful for? And can you do this often? Maybe once a day. You can think about 3 things that you would like to say thank you for. And if you want to, write them down, draw them, put them in your little book, put them on a piece of paper, wherever you like. But if we keep saying thank you and practicing gratitude, that will help us to remember all the things that we have in our lives that make us feel happier and more content. I'm going to hand you over to Rachel now for the next part of today's session.
Hi everybody. So we're today going to start with our wiggle warm-up again, but a little bit different from last week. We're going to start with our faces. So I'm going to come nice and close so you can see me. So can you sit perfectly still? And we're going to try and wiggle our foreheads. Now I can't do that without my eyebrows moving. Maybe you can. But can you now wiggle your eyebrows? Can you wiggle your eyeballs? Can you wiggle your noses? Without using your fingers, can you wiggle your noses? Can you wiggle your lips? And I'm sure you don't need any help with warming up your tongues, but let's give it a go anyway. Can we stick out our tongues? And can we go, Now, we're going to try and do all of that together. So, wiggle your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your lips, your tongue. Let's see those funny faces. And freeze. Lovely. So now we've warmed up those beautiful faces of yours. Let's warm up the rest of our body. So I'm going to stand up and I'm going to hop back to my mat and freeze. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Shake one leg awake. Let's shake the other leg awake. Shake one arm awake. Let's shake the other arm awake. Can we shake both arms? Can we shake both legs? And freeze. Now, can everyone remember where your knees are? So your knees are here. Can we bounce our knees? And shake your elbows. Let's wiggle those elbows. Now, bounce your knees and wiggle your elbows together. And can we get our shoulders involved? So can you use your shoulders at the same time? Keep going. And freeze. Now, reach all the way out, see if you can touch your ceiling. All the way down to your toes. All the way up, touch your ceiling. All the way down to your toes. Ceiling, toes, ceiling, toes, toes. Oh, did I catch you there? Ceiling, toes, and freeze. Now, let's go crazy. Shake everything. Shake your legs, shake your arms, shake your head, shake your head. Shake all the worries away. 3, 2, 1, and freeze. Very well done. So, now we're going to go all the way back to week 1. So we're in week 3 now. So might have a little trouble remembering all the poses that we had learned. So in week 1, we went on an adventure in a boat. So we're going to sit down on our bottoms. We're going to wiggle those bony bits into the mat. Remember, they're called your sitting bones. We're going to lift our legs, lift our arms. And can you hold it? Can you stretch your legs? Can you reach up? Can you do this without falling back? Now I'm going to count. So we've been practicing this for 3 weeks now, so we're going to start from 8, 7, 6. Are your legs shaking? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And everybody roll back. Shake those legs and arms in the air. Now, without using your hands, can you roll yourselves up to seated? Very well done. Now, next one. Week 2, we asked something in nature, a little question. Can anyone remember what that was? Maybe you picked something from them. It was a tree. So everybody's going to stand up. Now remember, you pick your favourite leg. And we lift one foot and we balance on our favourite leg. Now, our special little mindfulness trick, can you find a spot in the room that's not moving? So I'm going to look over here at the stripes on my wall. And then I'm going to grow my branches really tall. Maybe it's a little bit windy outside. But if I'm staring at something that's not moving, maybe we can balance. Now, so we don't become all wonky. Can we bring that leg down? And can we switch to the other leg? Can we reach up? Can you find something to stare at? Can you make yourselves really tall? Like you're growing out of the ground. And lovely, very good balancing, guys. And then the next pose we did was someone that likes to go around for walks in trees. Now this thing, you may have one at home. It was a dog. So we come onto our hands and feet. We waggle our tails up in the air. Stretch a leg up. Bring that leg down. Can you stretch the other leg up? Bring that leg down. Can we stretch an arm? Can we stretch the other arm? Can you give me a little bit of a wave? Lovely. Waggle those tails. And then we're going to try and stand up. So can you walk your hands back to your feet? Can you tickle your toes? Make sure they're still awake. And then we're going to come all the way up. Very well done. So I'm going to give you a hint now on where we're going to go on our adventure today. Our first pose today, we are going to be mountains. So you need to stand with your legs together. Your arms down by the sides. Can your head, so this, the top of your head, has a special name. It's called the crown of your head. Because it's where we wear our crowns. So whether you're a king, a queen, a princess, anything you like, can your crown go up towards the ceiling? Can you feel your feet all the way down into the ground? And if you have a grown-up around, maybe they could push you. And could you be so big and so tall and so strong that even someone just pushing you, you don't move? Can you hold still for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are very lovely mountains. Have a little wiggle if it was quite hard to stand still for that long. And sometimes when we're feeling a little bit wobbly, we can stand perfectly still, perfectly straight, like a big, glorious mountain. Our next pose today is a bird. Now, these birds like to fly around the mountains. They're very special birds. They're quite big. They're called eagles. Now, a little warning. This pose is very, very tricky, but we're going to give it a go together. And if you fall out or you wobble, we have another go. So can you place your hands on your hips? Can you give those knees a little bounce? We warmed them up earlier. Now, pick your favourite leg. You're going to balance on that leg. We're going to lift the other one up. And can you wrap it round? Very well done. Now, can you bring your arms out? Can you put one on top of the other? And can you wrap them round? Now, without laughing, sit down like you're on the toilet. Lovely, like you're on a chair. And if you wiggle wobble, keep trying. And you're going to hold it. 3, 2, 1. And then unwind. Give those legs and arms a shake. Now, again, so we've got one key. We have to do it on the other side. Hands on your hips. Give those knees a little bounce. You're going to do the other leg this time. So you're going to pick the favourite leg up. You're going to wrap it round. Arms out. Can you put the other arm on top? So go the opposite way. Lovely. Wrap them round and then sit your bottom down. Lovely. Now, because this isn't your favourite leg, it might feel a little bit more difficult. Remember, we pick something that's not moving. We stare at it. Oh, there I go. We're going to give it another go. And well done. Unwind. Give yourselves a little shimmy shake. So that's our poses for today. We've had boat, tree, dog, mountain, and now eagle. So you can practice them as much as you can. And I'm going to pass you over to Emily for the rest of our story.
Thanks, Rachel. Oh, that was tricky. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely wobbled doing my eagle. And I'm a lot more, I find it a lot easier to do it on one side than the other. The other side is really, really wobbly. So that's totally normal. But I hope you're having fun with it. So, can you remember who our 3 characters are in our story? Can you tell me? Holly, Skip, and Marshall. They are 3 best friends on an amazing adventure together. And so far, where have they been on their adventure? Can you remember where they were in week 1? Rachel gave us a clue with boat pose. They were on the sea, on a boat journey. And in week 2, can you remember where we were last week? If I give you a clue, I'm drawing my leaf on my hand. Yep, we were in the forest. And we picked some leaves, didn't we? And we thought about our favourite leaf, the shape of it, the texture, what it feels like, the colour. And then we designed those leaves on the floor in front of us. And then we drew them on our hands and we learnt that mindful activity to do for ourselves if we're feeling a little bit wobbly or stormy. And maybe you've been designing your own leaves. So this week is Mountain Week. So Holly, Skip and Marshall have sailed the sea, climbed through the forest, over tree stumps, through bushes, picked fruit, picked leaves, and they've explored through there together. And now in front of them, they find a gigantic mountain that they have to scale together. How are they going to do this? I want you to think about how it would feel to be on top of a mountain. So I'm going to ask you to get up now. I'm going to go to the back of my mat so you can see me. And I want you to think of what action we need to do to climb our mountain. We need to get nice and low, don't we? We need to maybe clench our fists and do some big climbing actions. Climbing across our mountain. Yeah? Can you do that for me? You do some big climbs. It might even be that you're reaching up and you're climbing like this. And just scale the mountain. You might want to have a go of doing it on the floor. Climbing back and forth. Climbing your mountain. Can you give that a go? I want you to think about who might be with you on your adventure. When we do the Mindfulness Project in schools, we do it with a group of children. And when we do this part, we all hold hands together and we climb that mountain together and we pull each other along and get there as a team. So I want you to think about the people that you would like to have on your team. One hand, two hands, pop them out. And those people might not be with you now. They might be. You might be able to hold hands with your grown-up at home. But if you can't, I want you to think about who you would like to have on each hand that you could hold. Who's on this hand? Maybe it's someone from your family, grandparent, a cousin, an auntie and uncle, your best friend. Who's on this hand? Maybe it's your teacher. Maybe it's a teaching assistant. Maybe it's someone at your school that you are missing at the minute. Because at the moment, we're all missing people and we all wish we could have our team around us. And we will again soon. But just for now, I want you to think who you would have on each hand and who you would be climbing that mountain with. Just close your eyes and imagine them standing with you. And now let's climb that mountain together. Hold those hands, climb it together. And well done! You've made it right to the top. Give yourselves a big clap. Well done. And whilst we're here, we're going to imagine looking out at that beautiful view from the top of the mountain. And you've got to the top. And you should feel really proud of yourself. Just like Holly, Skip and Marshall got to the top of the mountain, you've done it too. And as we're here, we're going to take a moment to think about what are those things in life that feel a little bit like we're climbing a mountain, that might feel difficult, impossible at times, and really tricky. And you might have even had some of those things this week. So I want you to try and think about something this week that's been difficult or tricky or has made you feel frustrated or worried. And imagine that thing there inside you. And I want you to now imagine that you're going to take a deep breath in, fill your lungs, fill your bellies. And as you breathe out, blow your worry away. Blow that worry, that frustration, that impossible thing out across your beautiful view from the top of the mountain. All together now. Deep breath in. And blow your worry away. And just see it in front of you, traveling away from you from the top of the mountain. Well done. You made it. And let's see where Holly, Skip and Marshall adventure to next week. I'm going to hand you back to Rachel now.
Hi guys, so it's now our special sleepy time. So just like last week, you can pause it here if you want to get your blanket, your cushion ready, grab your cuddly toy, and then you're going to snuggle up in the warm, cozy bed that you've made. So I'm going to give you a minute here so you can pause it, get yourself nice and comfortable. Lovely. So it's a slightly different story today, but just like last week, we're going to try and stay as still as possible. Now, close your eyes and feel your whole body relaxing. And just like Emily said, we're going to try and breathe out all our sadness. So you're going to take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just feel all your sadness, all your worries leaving your body. Now, I want you to imagine that you are becoming heavy. So very, very heavy. So heavy that you can't move. You can't lift your arms. You can't lift your legs. And you just lay relaxed. Now, I'm going to name some body parts. And without moving them, because remember, you're too heavy to move anything, you're just going to think about them. And maybe you could even feel them in your mind. So you're going to become aware of one of your hands. And you're going to think of the thumb, the second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and the little finger. Now think of that whole hand. Think of the whole of the arm, the shoulder, and then going down your body. Can you think of your waist and the whole of the leg, the whole of the foot, and then we get to the big toe, the second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the little toe. Can you think of all the toes? Now, go to the other hand. Can you feel that hand? Can you feel the thumb, the second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and the little finger? Can you think of the whole hand, the whole of the arm, and the shoulder? And then moving down the body, can you think of that side of your waist, the whole of the leg, the whole of the foot? Think of the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the little toe. Now, can you think of both feet together? Can you think of both legs, the tummy, and your back? You think of both shoulders, both arms. Can you think about your neck and your head? And we warmed them up earlier, but now they feel really heavy. Your forehead, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your cheeks, your mouth, your lips. Can you relax your tongue and your chin? Can you even relax your teeth? And then feel the whole face feel relaxed. The whole head feels relaxed. And then the whole body. You feel sleepy and calm and heavy and very relaxed laying in your cozy bed. And just notice where your body touches the floor. So maybe your head's on the floor, your arms on the floor, your legs on the floor. Just think in your mind now all of the body parts that are touching the floor. And then I want you to notice that even though you're lying perfectly still, you're still breathing. So in our mind, we're going to blow some bubbles. So I want you to think of a bubble, and as you breathe in, that bubble's starting to grow. And as you breathe out, you're blowing all the air into that big bubble. As you breathe in, the bubble gets smaller, and as you breathe out, you're growing your bubble even bigger. So can you imagine it in your mind with your eyes closed? We breathe in, and the bubble is small. Breathe out, you grow your bubble really big. And keep going, blowing in and blowing out. Bubble gets smaller and then bigger. And now, if you're ready to wake up, if you want to lay down here for a little while, you can. If you're ready, we're going to take a big deep breath in. And then sigh it all out. You're going to take a great big stretch. You're going to reach your arms up and then wiggle your fingers and stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes. And then when you're ready, you're going to turn yourself into a teeny tiny little ball. So you're going to bring your knees up onto your belly. Give yourselves a great big hug. And then very, very gently come up to sit on your bottom. And that's it for today, guys. It was so lovely to see you again. So it's goodbye from me.
And bye from me. Thanks, Rachel. I feel lovely and calm and relaxed now after that, and a little bit sleepy. But thanks for joining us again, guys, and we hope to see you next week for the Mindfulness Project at Home. See you later. Have a good week.
Bye.